Hello and welcome back to the TV Show Club, the club where Hello and welcome back to the TV Show Club, the club where we talk about TV shows that we've been recently watching, viewing and enjoying. Let me know what you've been recently watching and enjoying, and if you've seen what I'm about to talk about, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. What did you think to Loki? What did you think? Well, thank you. You can't keep pouring me. I'm trying to film. Right, if I put my arm back, are you going to pour it? Let me go. Okay. I've been very critical of Loki Season 2. I thought it was badly written, badly paced for the first at least 4 episodes. I don't think there was great writing or character development in terms of the relationships that we saw. I feel like there was no real friendship or camaraderie that came through in the script and the writing. The pacing just felt like we were miles behind of where we should have been. However, after the final episode, I can't deny that I did absolutely love the wrap up, and as a whole, looking back, I have enjoyed the series. I just wish that it was maybe written a bit better or we got a little bit more content. But as I say, after the finale, I did actually really enjoy the sort of story and overarching story that we got throughout the series. The Loki finale was one of the best hours of Marvel I feel like I've got in a long time. I mean, yeah, Guardians was brilliant, but besides that, it's probably the best hour of Marvel TV that we have ever got. From the CG, the camera work, the acting, the writing, the pacing, everything was perfect, which for Disney Plus shows doesn't happen very often. From the beginning of this episode, seeing Loki come to terms with his powers as being able to essentially time travel. It was brilliant to see him just going back and forwards. It had a little bit of a comedic effect to it. I genuinely really loved and enjoyed every single minute of that. I was really happy that with this finale of Loki that it was less focused on the overall story of the MCU or different characters or He Who Remains, Kang and all this. It was instead very much focused on Loki, the character that we've all grown to love, the character that we want to see develop into the better, and it just focused solely on him, and that's I think why I love this episode so much. Seeing him develop his powers, his abilities. The moment where He Who Remains says like, oh, come back to me when you've thought about it, and Loki puts his finger up, stops time, and he's like, I have. That was such a brilliant moment, and it was like, Loki is him. Loki is that guy. That's what I would have wanted to see more in the series. Just more Loki development rather than just running around the TVA. Tom Hiddleston, man. I mean, it doesn't get spoken about enough. I mean, we talk about how brilliantly Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Iron Man, or just any of the other characters who were just brilliantly cast, but he was just built for this role. His charisma, his depth of emotion that he draws into the character. The journey that we have been on with Loki is one of probably the best and probably one of my favourite that we've seen in the MCU. Going from this evil but broken character who we kind of want to do good over all the films I've seen. Like, Loki, please do good, and then he does something wrong. But then to finally see him achieve this level of character development is just outstanding, and Tom Hiddleston has portrayed it brilliantly throughout. Having the ending with Loki walking down, all his friends like, what is he doing? But Loki knows this is exactly what he's got to do. It was just such an incredible moment and an incredible scene. The CGI was outstanding. The cinematography was brilliant. The shot where he's walking with his horns and all the dead branches are around him and glowing green. Oh my god, that might be one of my favourite shots in the MCU. It was just so well done, so well executed, and the build up to it from this episode, it was just such a perfect moment. I'm so glad that we got He Who Remains come back. I love the character, probably my favourite variant of Kang that we've got so far, and I love that he sort of was like taking the mick out of Victor Timely, and it's like, yeah, we've been saying this the whole time Victor's been here. He is just not him, but He Who Remains is just such a brilliant character. His charisma, his almost ability to be scary without even having mad powerful abilities, his wit and just knowledge is just all he needs, and it's absolutely brilliant to see him back. All the scenes between him and Loki were just probably the highlight of this finale. Their dynamic is just such a brilliant one, and it's almost like who can outdo the other one knowing more than the other. It's just such a good dynamic that I was so happy to see again. In a way, I'm really interested to see where Marvel goes after Loki, because they essentially have the ability to get rid of Kang now. Through the controversy of Jonathan Majors, to them claiming that Kang isn't very well received as a villain due to Ant-Man Quantumania, they have the ability now, after the finale of Loki, to be like, yeah, the Kang issue's fixed. Because Loki essentially took the role of He Who Remains, but he's essentially taking a job where he's like looking out for Kang variants. He is the core of the tree of timelines, and he's not going to let anything bad or wrong pass through it, because he knows that he doesn't want this giant multiversal war. I love the fact that Loki was told either you have to kill Sylvie or you have to kill all the timelines, and Loki was like, no, I'm going to do my own thing. It's such brilliantly Loki that it was just such a good way to do it, that you have these two options and he's like, I'm going to do it this way instead. It fits the character, and I'm just so excited to see the future of Loki. If this is the last time we see him, fair enough. It's a beautiful and brilliant send-off to the character in such a lovely way. But I do think there is room to possibly see him in the future. Maybe not in a Loki season 3, but maybe it's just a cameo in the future or something like that. I don't know, but I definitely think we're going to see him again. I actually think the finale of Loki fixes all of everyone's issues with Ant-Man Quantumania. Despite a lot of its issues, one of the main things was that Kang was just not a scary villain. He was supposed to be this big bad, the next Thanos, and yet he was so easily beaten. But if they're not going down the route of using Kang as the main villain, and Loki has just fixed the issues, and it was just a passing comment of Morbius just saying, oh yeah, there was a bit of a Kang variant that slipped through the cracks. If that's now the route they're going, then I actually think that the Kang in Ant-Man is brilliant, because he's like not supposed to be there. He slipped through the timeline and he got dealt with and he's fine. So look, if we pivot off to Doctor Doom, I'm kind of okay with it now. I was really looking forward to Kang to be a main villain, but look, if they do Doctor Doom, I'm not going to complain. Doctor Doom would be absolutely incredible. But anyway, yeah, let me know, what did you think to Loki Season 2? And I'll see you next time on the TV Show Club.